Football 101 with Coach Brett Bielema. Brought to you by Carl, the official health provider of Fighting Illini Athletics.
Welcome back to Football 101. Martin O'Donnell, joined as always by Coach Brett Bielema. And Coach, we got a little even helping of offense, even helping a defense here. Got 4 plays we're going to run through. What do we got to start?
Well, this one kind of has a flashback for those in our generation. He's back, right? Johnny, first time on the field in the second half, and this is just a classic example. We talked all week with our players about winning one-on-ones, right? And there's going to be 74 guys on the plane, and we wanted to win our one-on-ones, and this is the first one. It was a 3rd and 7 from the 9, so we call this basically a 4-point play. And if you think about it, the way this game plays out, right, if they convert this, even though it's 3rd and 7, 9, they can still get a first down, but really what's at stake here is a touchdown or a field goal. And so Johnny showed us from the back angle, really, like we've talked about in the past, he plays inside the tackle. It's really hard for him as an old lineman, right? It's hard to get doubles.
Yeah.
And so this is just a classic. Johnny had been watching this the whole first set, stemmed out. Now he's going to be a one-on-one with 71 punches, kind of air punch, but you see him swipe and really get by the edge. And then this is the part that really separates Johnny from other people, is his acceleration after the rush, right? And I think a lot of quarterbacks feel that they can run away from a big man weighing 300 pounds, but you'll just see how fast he quickly covers the ground here. And basically, they have to settle from a field goal from the 15-yard line, which put 3 points on the board versus the possibility of putting 7. And obviously in a 1-point game, these points all matter. So a huge play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the thing that I really like too, I mean, the offensive tackle kind of sets down inside because, again, it's one of those in-between alignments. They don't really know how to set it. And then Johnny, again, just gets the double hand swipe, which we've talked about before, but then his ability just to turn the edge and, like you said, just absolutely accelerate. It's fun to watch.
And Martin, to your point, right, like you made a living in here, right? Like these guys, they feel that they may get double pressure, right? So that brings the guard out. He thinks he's blocking Johnny. Well, once he sees our end slough, our outside linebacker slough, 77 has to assume the one-on-one. 71 now goes back in case we're getting a plug or some type of movement off our nose, and then Johnny just quickly makes mincemeat of this and makes an unbelievable play. And then, as we all know, the reaction that our players have, right? Like DBs are like, dang, I don't have to cover as long, right? Like everybody was happy, right? Then this one probably, for me, and this is obviously Kaden's touchdown, but we're in a 2-by-2 formation, a really good play concept design by Coach Lunny, and really put ourselves in a position before the snap. A lot of people call this hot motion, T-motion, right? But he's bringing them behind the quarterback before the ball snap. And then again, we talked about one-on-ones. You're going to see Tip Ryman come up and block an overhang player. This is a great play by Pat Bryant, who takes this Minnesota edge defender. He just wishes him out, extends the arm. Just enough room here. Now this guy gets just barely a hand on Kaden, and this is the thing I've been waiting to happen, right? Everybody thought it was going to be a big run. We kind of thought all along one of his pass receptions might be his first big play, and here it is from the 50-yard line, right? He really turns on his jets right about there, and then you'll see this linebacker, who I think can run pretty good. There's going to be some DBs, bad safety angle, and then he just took it on down the stretch, made a huge play in the reaction. Now this is what we need to work on, right? So this is 6'5", 250 pounds of love, right? And then here comes Pat Bryant, Casey Washington, calling for the Casey's calling it. He's telling him point him up, which means we're going to do the jump, right? Watch this. Like nobody could catch him on the field. But here is.
He's tired.
Yeah,
he's tired. Come on now.
It's a long way from Atwood, man. Like he got up, Tips there to pull him up, but a really good play.
But I thought this really too, and you talked about it a little bit in your press conference earlier this week. It's the speed. I mean, so I think part of it is obviously the safety doesn't take the best angle here, but he's not anticipating the kind of breakaway speed that Feagin has, and you can see it. I mean, he's coming up here thinking he's going to connect with him right here.
Yeah.
But Kaden just, turns on the jets and
I think he thought this big back's going to cut back in rather than taking the perimeter route. And Kaden actually catches this ball on the 40-yard line exactly. So this is a 60-yard sprint. Yeah. And, and on the end here, he's pulling away from everybody, right? Like it's not anywhere in question. Everybody else just gave up, right? So I thought that was a really big moment just for Kaden's confidence, but also now this is on film, right? Absolutely. Like, so it's not just a big back there running between the tackles. This is a big guy that can run. Just see his confidence grow. Big Ten Freshman Player of the Week again. Really probably at the end of the year will be up for several Big Ten and All-American things for true freshmen. So go back on the defense side. So this is a critical point, right? So we have 21. They had just scored a touchdown. We had notified over the headsets before the series even started that this was probably going to be a 2-point try if they got a touchdown. So our defense is prepared. Coach Henry had made a call on the sideline before this play ever happened. We knew what we were going to go in, what we were going to do, and they knew they like to go flat and left. They like to get things over here, right? Draw. Most quarterbacks like to run this way, right? So when this play began to develop, we saw that this play coming around, and this is kind of a version of the Philly play. Really good by Seth right here. Taz, right? He's a little bit lost, right? Because he's in coverage. He sees the quarterback come out, and this is a really good learning experience for Gabe Hackus. Again, really good with the tight end. Gets it, and now he makes this guy double clutch. And then just the break here by Clayton. Just unbelievable moment in time right here. Now he goes up and swats it. You'll see from the back angle a lot of really good individual reactions. Again, really good by Johnny. So if he's going to cut it up, Johnny's going to be right there in the alley. Here you see Gabe making that guy throw a high ball. Because he's got to throw a high ball, allows Clayton to come over the top, and then just an unbelievable job of batting that ball out of there. Really, again, in all of the points that mattered, this was going to be a 2-point play, right? Ended up winning the game by 1, so it was a very, very critical point in the game.
Yeah, big play, no doubt about it.
And then the one everybody loves to talk about, right?
Yeah,
so,
I'm stunned we're going over this one. But
so we had a 4th and 11 that we converted, right? Then we had 2 first down passes that converted, right? And to really put ourselves in a position to be where we are, 54 seconds, no timeouts, right? This is an amazing moment here for a lot of people, but in general, here you're going to see Isaiah come across. He actually talks to his quarterback right here. This guy's intelligence, football IQ, and awareness is incredible. And then you're going to see Paddock kind of scan the scene. He realized they were in double high safeties, right? Everybody wants to talk about signal stealing. They're signaling something that would mean something. He's going to show, right here, he does something. So he knew what they were playing, right? And this guy knew what they're playing. So 2 guys knew for sure. Great protection, right? Great protection, does a good job. And then you see John will show up from the back angle. He looks over here, which pulls this safety, right? And then it just opens up the middle of the field. And you'll see this from the back angle. This is just unbelievable. Isaiah literally takes out his mouthpiece and says something to John. I know what he says. We all know what, in our room, we know what he said. Basically said, I'll see you in the end zone, right? But he knew he was going to get this. And you see, I feel bad for 45, right? He's doing hand jive. This is a great dance move, right? But when you're doing this on the football field, it's never really good.
Not the best.
Right? And here it is. Now, just watch John's composure. He's got everything over here. He looks off this safety. 27 had made a break on a play earlier and picked one off from Luke. But this is just incredible awareness, buys time to the last minute, and throws a strike, right? And then, the fun part for me is you always see who's the Minnesota fans, but got just a few Illini fans, right? So these 2, they jumped out right here. They're going to get up, high five, give a little hug, celebrate. But I found it interesting, right? So.
Well, and Paddock takes a shot too. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's not a. I mean, the offensive line and does a decent job of protecting, but he's trying to buy time. He knows what Isaiah's doing, but he takes a shot.
And he does, and he drifts just enough to deliver that shot. Yeah. Put enough air onto it, right? And probably the guy that was the most excited, this is Mr. Johnny Netwon over here, right? He's given the early touchdown sign, but you'll see Isaiah hasn't even crossed the goal line, and look where Johnny's going. He's turning and going to get his helmet because he knows he just got 4 rushes on the quarterback he gets to do. So that's a guy eager to play his job.
Well, obviously, very exciting game. Great way to end it. And, Coach, appreciate you taking time as always, and thank you for watching Football 101.
Football 101 with Coach Brett Bielema. Brought to you by Carl, the official health provider of Fighting Illini Athletics.